Well, hello, and welcome to our CAD tutorial videos. Please make sure that you subscribe and follow us. If you have any CAD tutorial ideas that you would like us to demonstrate, please leave those in the comments and we'll be happy to do that for you. Today's video, we're going to finish up our spring boot assembly. In the previous video, we created this adaptive spring that changes as the piston is drawn in and extended out. We'll demonstrate that before we get started. So we'll just drive that one constraint. And there we can see our spring is engaged and working. All right, so today we're going to go ahead and make the boot. So I am going to create a new part file. And I want to make sure it's in the right folder. Okay, once I'm in the new part file, I am going to go ahead and offset the plane at the end of the piston with a 0 distance, offset the plane at the end of the cylinder, again with a 0, and I'm going to bring in the axis down the center. So those are my three work features. We'll go ahead and start a sketch, and we'll place this sketch on the YZ plane. Okay, now it's time to do our sketch. I'm going to start with creating a line down here. And then we'll start to create some angles that will represent the boot geometry. I want to try and avoid any automatic adaptation or constraints. And I feel like I already have some. I see some 90 degrees in here. That'll mess this up. Okay, so let's try it again. All right, if I can get 3 good ones in here. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, at this point, I'm going to take an equals constraint and place it on this piece and this piece. I'm going to throw and throwing a constraint on to the ends of each of those work features. That's what's going to make the connection between this and controlling our dimension. I can't remember if I put an equals on here and here. I did. All right, let's put a dimension there now. And we'll make that 1/2 inch. Okay. From there, I'm going to put equals on each of these. All right. Then I'm going to take and create a sketch line as a construction. And we'll just stretch it across. I'm not going to place a dimension on this, but I'm going to try and control where these points are. All right, let's do the same on the bottom. And Okay. Let's establish a dimension off of this piece to the center. And we'll set that at 0.5 as well. All right. That's looking pretty good. No dimensions on our construction lines so that they're allowed to change. We're now going to put an angle dimension across here to here. It's showing 121 degrees and some change right now. We're going to change that by right-clicking on it to a driven dimension. Notice the brackets. That way it can change and adapt to our geometry changes. We'll set the second dimension of the angle to the first one, and we'll repeat that process down. All right, good. My final dimension is going to be a line dimension on one of these straight edges, and we'll set that to, let's try 1. Let's add a little bit more to it. 1.1. Okay. And that should finish that line. Everything should be in good shape. We're going to go ahead and offset this down at 0.05. Oops, let's undo that. I left that construction piece on. Do it again. All right, that's good. Finish the SketchUp. We'll now take and revolve the geometry along the axis. Good. Okay. At this point, we'll come in with a fillet command. Okay. So I filleted all our radiuses. And I'm going to change my view to wireframe so I can get the insides while we're here. So we'll come back and fillet those. All right. Looking good. Change our view back to shaded. And we'll go ahead and add a material. We'll do rubber. All right. Before I move on, I'll go ahead and turn the visibility of my 2 work planes and work axis, or my work features, off. And we'll return back to our assembly model. Go ahead and change the view a little bit. And we'll come on up to our control driven dimension, right click on it and drive it. And this should work nicely for us. There we go. We got ourselves a rubber boot that is adaptive, that is running at the same time as our adaptive spring. So this was a fairly simple assembly that demonstrates 2 adaptive features in the same assembly model being controlled by a single constraint. Remember that original single constraint was a mate between this face here and the inside of the cylinder with a distance that we're running between 1 inch and 4 inches. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please subscribe to the channel, leave some comments for some future models like this. Thank you.